All right, let's get it. We're live. Surprise live stream. You know why I'm doing this? Just a little bit of a pre-show. I'm going over on KB Loves Movies channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. We're having a conversation. I'll be over there at 9 p.m., but up until 9 p.m. for the next 40 minutes, I'm here. I'm live. What's going on, guys? Let's let some people roll in. But yeah, we're here. We're live. So one thing I want to talk about, you guys probably noticed is the background's a little bit different. Got some Billy bookshelves up. Got some stuff over here. I'm just live because I'm about to go over on another channel at 9 p.m. Check the link in the description. I'm going to be on KB Loves Movies channel doing the conversation at 9 p.m. So in about 40 minutes. So I figured, hey, what the hell? Let's go live up until then. So that's why I'm live. Am I seeing the big two movies this weekend? I'll tell you what, I'm definitely trying to see Barbie. Hey, going to the movies. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, like this video. Let people know that I went live. Surprise, I'm here. But yeah, I don't know about Oppenheimer because I want to see Oppenheimer on like the big screen. So I've got to do some research on where I'm actually going to go and watch that. Barbie, I could see anywhere. So Barbie's going to be easy, but Oppenheimer, we got to make sure that's right. How's my Criterion sale going? I got a bunch of Criterions right up here on the shelf. I bought 4. I bought Virgin Suicides. I bought Thelma and Louise. I bought Monterey Pop Festival. I bought that because I just went to Woodstock earlier this month to see a concert. So I wanted the Monterey Pop Festival too. Got me thinking like old 60s concerts. What's the other one I bought? I bought 4. Virgin Suicides, Thelma and Louise. Oh, Triangle of Sadness. I bought on 4K. Hey, Sean, thank you for the super chat, my man. What's the most you've ever paid for a movie? And do you like the Blair Witch movies? The most I've ever paid for a movie, I paid like $300. It wasn't for one movie, but I paid like $300 or $400 for my Predator set and my Avengers Marvel Phase 1 set. So that was big. Did I get The Last of Us? That's funny you asked. Actually, it just recently came in. I haven't even opened it yet. The Last of Us on 4K. So I'll probably be checking that out. You guys want a review of that? I can do a review of that. Yeah, how'd you guys? That's a good Mortem. I see you got $400 worth of movies for about half off. How'd you guys do on Prime Day? How'd we do? I know I posted a ton of deals. I saw you guys gave me a ton of love there, which was awesome. We got a ton of people click those deals. And as you know, like if you click on my Amazon links, it gives me, I'll tell you what, it gives me like, it's like 1% or something, but it adds up. It helps support the channel. So how'd you guys do on Prime Day? Because the US Prime deals were definitely better. Yeah. The UK is, I don't know, man. The UK just feels weak with the Prime stuff. They just don't seem to do deals. Do I use Movies Anywhere or Vudu or iTunes? No, I do. I use I either use Movies Anywhere or Vudu. It's primarily for like my kids. We can pop movies on the iPad while they're in the car. That's easy. If I'm traveling on planes, you can't bring your discs on a plane, so I'll usually download a movie from my digital library. So yeah. Now that Disney has lost billions at the box office, Charles asks, do you think they'll start getting back to making great physical discs? Well, first of all, they haven't lost billions at the box office. So they've had a tough year at the box office, but if you actually look, Elementals came back and is actually going to make them money. Indiana Jones is going to have a pretty long theatrical period to it and will probably still break even and make them money. So it's not like they lost billions, but they're not making the billions that they used to make. So they're kind of just even. The They are going to do some more physical stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Prey, they finally, well, I guess it finally leaked. I don't talk about it, but I guess it finally leaked that Prey is coming to 4K. So I knew that one. It got out there. So Disney's doing that, or well, 20th Century, I guess, is doing that as part of Disney. I think they're going to do more. We'll just leave it at that. And yeah, production delays. So this is an interesting topic. I was actually going to maybe make a video about is like the strike, SAG after strike and the WGA strike. Like obviously there's no new productions going on. So is it possible that some of these actors, directors, is it possible some of them push for their movies to be, remastered? I don't know. They're not going to be thing is, they're not going to be talking to the studios because they're all on strike. I don't know. It's a weird one, but it is something they could focus on. Yeah, Prey 4K is a rumor, but it's happening. There isn't a press release yet on it, but it's happening. I haven't seen Deaf Crocodile's recent Kickstarter, so let me know. I missed that one. What are my thoughts on Wonka? My thoughts on Wonka are the same as my thoughts on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's literally no need for anybody to do Wonka again except for Gene Wilder. Willy Wonka is one of those characters. It's like Back to the Future. Don't remake it. Like, I don't want them to ever remake. You can make sequels and things. I don't care. So I don't mind Wonka because it's like prequel, but like nobody can touch Willy Wonka except for Gene Wilder. He was just perfect. I heard good things about Dial of Destiny, but I just wasn't one of those people who was going to go out and see it right away. I'll watch it when it comes out. How do you feel about buying a disc and selling it as soon as you're done watching everything you want on it? Do whatever you want. It's your movie. It's your collection. If you buy them and you watch them and you want to sell them, go for it. Buy another movie. I mean, it's all helping. I heard Dial was too woke. That means nothing to me because the term woke is totally useless. So I'm not going to put any stock into that whatsoever. SAG after stuff. Yeah, that could go. That could go for a while. They have real issues there. They have real issues there with streaming and AI and residuals. And the fact that like nobody from The Office got paid anything for the amount of time it was on Netflix, just streaming, millions and millions and millions and millions of views is like crazy. So they're not making money. How's anybody else making money? I think it's got to be a real problem. Yeah, if Disney put Disney Plus shows on Blu-ray or 4K, I'd totally buy them. And I'll tell you what, I think it's coming. Streaming is losing so much money. Yes and no. They're losing so much money because they're burning it on their original content, which nobody was really asking for. If they had just stuck to just being a service that shows movies and TV shows that people like, which is what Netflix was in the beginning, they weren't or at least just doing some originals. The fact that Netflix has like 500 original programs coming out a month, that's the issue. And who's watching the stuff on Peacock that's original? And who's watching the stuff on Apple TV? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. So it's too expanded. It's too big. Even Disney said this. We're going to do less Marvel and less Star Wars stuff. It's too big. And they're right. It's too big. I haven't watched a single Marvel show since WandaVision. I just can't. I cannot devote 10 hours of my time to shows that could have been an hour and a half movie. Will we ever get an at-home version of Avatar: The Way of Water with 48 frames per second? Not unless they change the specs on 4K discs. They can't do 48 frames. I mean, I assume at some point you'll get like a a downloaded version or something, but they can't do that. So not on this format, not right now anyway. New to your channel, just got a 4K player because I want to watch Dawn of the Dead Second Sight. Well, James, welcome first of all to the channel. And Dawn of the Dead Second Sight's a great place to start on 4K. So appreciate that. Thanks, Ross. New office looks dope. Yeah, we're working on it. I'm working on it. I gotta fix some stuff here, but like this shelf's not even done yet. I got some stuff going on. I still don't have doors in my office. Our French doors that we ordered, or the contractor, I guess, ordered 4 weeks ago, have been delayed week after week after week. So I'm working today on the first floor, and it was crazy. Lots of kids running around yelling. Yeah, John, I'm doing a conversation with KB at 9 p.m. So in about a half an hour, I'm going on with KB for an hour. Fernando, it's not a new setup. It's just we had a room in my house, which was like, it used to be a living room. We just moved in here, so we don't know what they used it for, but it was like a living room, sitting room, whatever. We never used it. So, and it's I don't know, maybe 150 square feet. So we took some walls down, opened up our kitchen a little bit, did a kitchen pantry, nothing crazy project wise, just took a wall down, did some framing, but have this new office that I'm going to be working out of, and I'm going to be able to write in here. I'm going to be able to do podcasts in here. So I appreciate that. I haven't reviewed Showgirls yet. I need to film that video. I watched it like 3 weeks ago. Russell C. Russell's been a member for 3 years. Dude, that's wild. Thank you, Russell. If you guys want to join the member on the channel, look, I don't do anything special. Like, it's purely just a way to support my content, but you can join and be a member like Russell. Russell's been a member for 3. Dude, that's awesome. You might be the longest tenured member. Yep. Jalo sets in the corner are great. Thank you, Russell. I really appreciate you, man. You're an OG going back 3 years. That's like right when the channel started to blow up a little bit. 6 months after the fact, how you feel about your conversation with Dice K on the podcast? I loved my time with Dice K. I'm hoping Dice K is moving. Well, last I talked to him, moving to LA. So I'm really hoping now that he's going to be back in the States. I'm across the country on the other side, but I'm hoping if he's ever out here, I'm ever out there, that we're going to meet up, because I had such a great conversation with him on the podcast. And then I went on his channel and we had such an amazing conversation. So he's the best. Thanks, man. Office looks comfortable. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it so far. Just get some doors on here and dampen the sound down a little bit. It's very echoey without any doors, and there's nothing on the walls yet either. So got some stuff to hang up. As you can see, this is my Halloween 2018 storyboard, production used storyboard from 2018 Halloween that I bought on a Facebook used props group. Super cool. My wife did the framing, but like Danny McBride touched that at some point. Maybe it's a really good scene from the movie too. Any updates in the podcast? Will there be new episodes? Yeah, for sure. So I think there'll be new episodes. Here's the thing. The podcast takes a lot of time, right? You have to set up scheduling with guests. You have to do the recording, do the podcast. There's usually conversations after the fact. What you guys see of like an hour, sometimes I talk to people for 2 or 3 hours. There's editing, there's posting, there's getting it on audio platforms, video platforms. It's a lot. I think I'll keep doing it. I'm not doing any this summer. Summertime is just too busy with the kids. But we'll see if I can keep that up when the fall comes back around. Even if it was shorter form, even if it was just like 30 minutes. Any advice on a quick way to assess any given movie and compare the release variations, like the Matrix trilogy? So in terms of what? Like just comparing Blu-ray to 4K. Typically, that's something like I would try to do on the channel. But Capsaholic has really good screenshots if you wanted to do comparisons. That's a cool website. DVD Beaver also has a bunch. Would I ever interview normal collectors who aren't posting videos? Well, I don't. No such thing as a normal collector. We're all crazy, right? That's actually something I'm considering for like when the podcast starts up, is doing like 30-minute conversations with, or maybe even starting a completely different podcast that talks to collectors, but people who collect anything. So like one day would be like one episode would be a movie collector, but like Blu-rays, and one would be like a VHS collector, one would be a Laserdisc collector. But I'd also talk to like a Funko Pop collector, a movie props collector, a book collector, a coin collector, a stamp collector, a vinyl collector, like just talking to collectors of different things. And I think you'd be surprised at how like similar some of those worlds are. I've thrown that around as like a really interesting podcast. So let me know what you guys think about that. Like, obviously, it wouldn't just be movies, but it would be all sorts of different collections, sports cards, whatever. I just thought that would be really cool. Like, I would love to talk to collectors like myself of other things. So I'm throwing around potentially like retiring the Films at Home podcast and doing a new podcast, which is like a collector thing. So we'll see. Everybody, Will Smith, slap that like button for this cool, crazy cat. I appreciate that. Will Smith that. Yeah, see, I figured a lot of people are saying they like the idea. Like, the thing is, I think a lot of people that collect movies also collect vinyl or books or other forms of media. And I think that other people, or video games, like video game collector is a big one too. So I find that to be very interesting. Like, even like I collect sports cards too at a smaller degree than my movies, but every world has their own nuances. So I just think it's cool. What happened to the Films at Home Awards? Honestly, what happened was my daughter was born in January of this year. So doing an end of the year awards in January, no chance. It was chaos here with a 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old, and then she was born. So it just got chaotic. And I will do it this January because there's no baby coming this January. Bryce Bailey, thank you for the super chat, my man. Much appreciated. Any idea if we'll ever get Planet of the Apes 68 on 4K? So I don't know for sure that we're going to get that, but I can't imagine a world next year, the year after, however many years it takes that physical media is still around and 4K is still the format, that we don't get Planet of the Apes. Like, if we don't get Planet of the Apes, something's wrong, man. Something's wrong. Crazy. Hey, KB Loves Movies is in the chat. He said, hey, Jeff, getting ready for our conversation at the top of the hour. Bring a few of your friends. Yeah, if you guys are here and watching this live stream, in about 20 minutes at 9 p.m., I'm going to KB Loves Movies on his stream doing an hour-long conversation. So the link is in this video description if you guys want to check that out. If you're watching this recording after the fact, you can watch the recording too. It'll link over there. But I'm going to be talking to KB for an hour, so that's pretty sweet. Sean, I'm glad you got your whatnot order. I've been selling a ton of stuff on Whatnot. I've also been buying a ton of stuff on Whatnot. I've also been streaming on Whatnot, and it's been a ton of fun connecting with you guys over there. We have like 2,000 followers on Whatnot, which is awesome. So if you guys do want to join me on Whatnot, it's a live stream shopping app. If you click the link that's in my description right now, there's a link there that'll get you a $15 free credit, which will easily buy you a couple movies from different sellers. You just jump into live streams and it's quick auctions. It's a really, really fun app. I go live on Whatnot like once a month. Usually I'm just like selling stuff I upgrade. Like I just bought, I bought the Manchurian Candidate 4K from Kino Lorber. So I sold my Criterion on Whatnot. I did the same thing for Night of the Hunter. I upgraded a couple other 4Ks. Evil Dead 2013 I bought. So upgraded that, sold the Blu-ray and Whatnot. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I also sold some like, I'm going to be selling some Funkos and stuff like that as I try to pare things down. Someone asked, Alan Meggs, another channel member, so thank you. Jaws 2 4K as good as the first one. So here she is. I literally filmed this video earlier today, right before I made dinner, and I'm editing it tonight after I get off the live stream with KB, and it should be live tomorrow. Full review video of Jaws 2 on 4K will drop tomorrow. I do have Evil Dead Rise. I have not had a chance to watch that yet. So when I do, I will definitely give you a review. I did watch Evil Dead 2013 on 4K the other day from Scream Factory, who's now Shout Studios, not Shout Factory, Shout Studios. So I watched that. That movie is really fantastic and really scary. Hey, Charlie, I can tell you that the Blu-rays and 4Ks don't get slightly pitched up. That's like a PAL issue. That's a DVD specific thing as far as I know. If you get up to Blu-ray or 4K, you will not have that issue. Somebody who's European should confirm that, but that's what I understand to be the truth. I think we'll definitely get The Last Samurai on 4K. Seems like a no-brainer. That's had multiple releases. It's had steelbooks in the past. Something that I think they care about. So I think that'll happen. I did know that Sony Pictures was Columbia TriStar. I'm old. I'm 30 years old. I knew that. The old VHS tapes had Columbia TriStar Home Video. I remember that. I wouldn't worry about missing out on The Last of Us on 4K. There's going to be thousands of those. They probably got a ton of orders, and that's why yours is back ordered, which is a good thing. It's awesome to see a TV show. It should show Disney Plus. Like, hello, if you put out The Mandalorian or something, like you would get sales. Like The Last of Us was a big streaming, or it wasn't even a streaming hit. It was a HBO. It was on every week. So they're selling a ton of 4K discs. Do I have Drive? I don't have the Drive 2011 Second Sight Films release, but let me tell you, I want that bad. That's high on my list for sure. Andrew, thank you. Appreciate that. Hitchcock is the GOAT with the super chat, my man. Thank you. I got about 15 minutes left, guys, before I'm over on KB's channel. If you didn't hear, I'm going on KB Loves Movies at 9 p.m. So in about 15 minutes, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a conversation with him. So get your questions in now. And if you do a super chat like Hitchcock, 100% I'll answer your question. But I'm trying to answer as many as I can. Any word on The Abyss or True Lies? Holy hell, it's taking forever. I thought they were releasing with Avatar 2. Yeah, so The Abyss and True Lies are happening. It's taking forever because James Cameron is a perfection. He wants them to look great. It's also taking forever because Disney, which they would do the work on this, they laid off a bunch of their physical media people recently, and it's been kind of a mess. So I think that's the issue, but I think they will come. Hey, Jeffrey, I mean, I appreciate you not wanting to watch the horror stuff, but like, I would just say, like, I don't know, just don't, you can weed through it. I don't do that much that's like horror specific. So starting a whole nother channel is a lot of work. Like I'm definitely, even if I do more content, like I do content like 5 psychological thrillers. That was a new video I did that I was really happy with because I like giving movie recommendations and I want to do more of that. Like I want to do more like my favorite comedies from the 90s and stuff like that. So you guys get my tastes a little bit more than just what I collect and buy. But that's all just going to stay on this channel. Like realistically, this is the channel. Films at Home is the channel. Maybe someday it won't be Films at Home. It'll just be my name. Like some people do that, but I don't imagine like ever starting a new channel or anything. Thank you, Snowy Taco. Appreciate that. Most anticipated 4Ks we definitely need Master and Commander. Sean, happy to hear you got into horror, and I was part of the reason why. I'm hoping with some really potentially cool small teas here, tiny teas, because nothing is confirmed on this yet. So I'm not going to say anything about it more than there's something that could be happening with me and content and just movie recommendations, not on YouTube, something different that would be pretty cool if things line up. Would be like actually one of the coolest things I've ever done, and it won't happen for a while. It'll be like a year, but if I can get that to happen, just a tiny tease here. We're talking to some people right now. That would be one of the coolest things that I've ever done. I think you guys will love it. Columbia Classics Volume 4 would guarantee that's going to come at some point, but don't know anything on that. Eric, you're not shadow banned. That's like not a real thing. But if you are typing nasty shit in the comments, it's going to block you. So don't do that. Deja Vu definitely needs a 4K. Eric, I got your questions here. I mean, a lot of people are asking questions, my man. A lot of people, I'm trying to answer them all. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K at Second Sight, you're not going to get for a cheap price now. It's sold out. Unfortunately, that's the reality. How many films do I own? Well, a few months ago, or I guess last year, it was about like 4,000. Now I'm down to about 2,500 or 3,000 because I have, I've definitely pared stuff down. I've kind of curated. I've talked about this a lot. I've curated the collection. Lawrence of Arabia 4K outside of the Columbia box set. Pay attention to Best Buy. They are repressing the Lawrence of Arabia 4K Steelbook. Now, none of the other movies from Columbia have been released, Columbia Classics, but Lawrence of Arabia is getting another Steelbook. Favorite Funko Pops? Probably these guys right here. You can't see all of them, but I got Hopper, Quint, Chief Brody, and then the shark with the scuba tank, the nitrogen tank in his mouth. So those are my favorite 4. I also have a cool Norman Bates one and a Carrie one, which I really like. But I don't do a ton of Funko. This is a great question. I like this. Who would play me in the Films at Home biopic? First of all, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Who do you think would play? Let me stand up straight. Let's sit up straight. Boom, boom. Who would play me in Films at Home, the biopic? It's a really good question. I don't know of anybody who's my age right now that would play me. A lot of people are going to say Kevin Smith. I've always thought Seth Rogen could do a good job with it. Seth, thank you. Seth Rogen. Zach Galifianakis could do a good job. But I don't know if somebody who's like my age. Definitely not Ezra Miller. No, thank you. Yes, Kevin, that's exactly it. Danny McBride, that might be it. If I could have anybody play me in a biopic, I'd probably say Danny McBride. I love Danny McBride. I'm watching The Righteous Gemstones right now, and he cracks me up. I'm watching Eastbound and Down again. I love Vice Principals. Danny McBride might have touched this at some point, so I may have a little piece of Danny. I may have some Danny McBride DNA, a little sweat right here in my studio. That's a Halloween storyboard. I would, if Danny McBride played me in a movie, that would be the greatest thing that's ever happened. But nobody's going to play me in a movie because nobody's making a movie about a guy who collects movies and it goes on YouTube. I don't think it's going to happen. That would be cool. I don't know. Maybe I got a long life ahead of me. Hopefully, maybe something crazy happens that I deserve a biopic, but there's a lot of people out there who have done a lot more than I have. Yeah, Cate Blanchett, she could play anybody. I don't. Jonah Hill seems like kind of a dick. I don't know. I don't know if everybody feels that way. I don't know. Have I been feeling overwhelmed? This is a good question, John Doe. So I don't know who you are. You're a John Doe. Also, guys, 9 minutes. I'm gonna be over on KB Loves Movies channel. So check that out in the description. I got 9 minutes left. If you want to get your questions answered, number one way to do it, I answer every super chat. But otherwise, I'm trying to get to all the questions. But John Doe asked if you've been feeling overwhelmed by the amount of physical media releases there have been. There's so many films I want to get, but I wound up spending much more than I should. It's true. I have felt overwhelmed too. I've felt pressure because there's so much to review. I've seriously considered like getting somebody else to do reviews for the channel that I would post, like getting a collaborator, because there's so much I just can't keep up. Like I have to watch these things and then put my thoughts down on them. You know, I don't write scripts. Every one of my videos is just off the cuff. I don't write scripts. I just kind of have the thoughts in my head and I go. But I got to film the videos and then edit the videos and post them and make a thumbnail and, you know, figure out what the title is going to be and all the stuff that goes into it, promote it on social media. So it's really, really hard. But I would recommend you guys like not to worry about it because it's a good thing. So, you know, pick and choose. There's no way you actually want everything that's coming out unless you're Tony from Basement Blues. Tony buys everything that comes out. I don't know how he does it. The man's an animal when it comes to collecting. And props to him because he gets every version. I mean, if you ever want somebody to talk about comparisons, hey, this version versus this version, ask Tony. But I think you just have to be picky, pick and choose. Like, don't be prioritizing, like, you know, if it's like, hey, I got to get groceries this week, but Jaws 2 came out on 4K and so did Evil Dead Rise. It's like, guys, get your groceries. Like, take care of your families, take care of you. This stuff will be there. Okay. Even the limited editions, like Second Sight limited editions, or like, you know, oh, you didn't get a slipcover, but you're still going to be able to own the movie physically for the most part. Even Second Sight, when limited editions sell out, they have standard editions, you know, for cheaper. So like this stuff will be there. Don't stress out about always having to buy it. I know there's FOMO. Obviously, I contribute to that, and I'm well aware. Like if I get a new movie early or something, or I get a review out on the day it releases, I obviously am promoting the movie, and you know that's going to make people want to buy it. But that's why I always say, like, you gotta budget. If you're a collector of anything, you have to budget. You have to be smart, and you've got to be choosy on what you want. In 6 months, Criterion will re-release Freaks in 4K. No. Freaks is going to be a 2K Blu-ray. That's the most they can get out of it. I'll tell you this. If they do a 4K release of that 6 months later, I would consider that to be a bit of a money grab. That movie doesn't need 4K. I'd love to see it with some HDR, but even then, you're talking about a movie that is just not in the best of shape from what I've heard. So I think they'll do a great job with it. 2K is going to be perfectly fine. They're at this point, Criterion's going to put the stuff out on 4K if they think it's going to sell and they can do it. If they can't, it's going to be a Blu-ray. And that would either come down to like sales. They don't think it'll sell, or they can't do it with the source, so they don't feel like it's worth it. So So James and anybody else, a 2K Blu-ray is just a standard Blu-ray, a 1080p Blu-ray, HD, the blue case versus the black case. You've got 1080p Blu-rays, which are like 2K scans, and then you've got 4K Blu-rays, which are 4K. It's very confusing. I have a video about it. There can be a 4K transfer on a 2K disc that gets down scaled. There can also be a 2K transfer on a 4K disc that gets upscaled. It's very confusing. Yeah, I just don't think Freaks like Right 96 there says Freaks it's a 2K scan. Criterion's not going to upscale it, so they'd have to go back and totally redo it, and they're not going to. I do think we'll see Universal Monsters Volume 3. I think they're trying to kind of reboot that, but if they did the first 2 volumes, if they did Volume 1 and then they did 2, it means that 1 sold well enough to do 2. So they'll probably do a 3. They may max out there, though. After you get through, that would be about 12 Universal Monsters movies. Not sure that there's many more they can do. That would sell well enough, like that are big enough names. I have the big 30-piece Universal Monsters collection, which has every movie in it from Universal Monsters, which is a great Blu-ray set because the Blu-rays look fantastic too. They were all restored before 4K. The Blu-rays were already restored. They did more work on 4K, but they looked great. All right, guys, I got like 2 minutes left because I'm going to hop over on KB Loves Movies. If you guys want to join over there, I'm doing a conversation with KB Loves Movies. So my stream here on the channel is going to end in about 2 minutes. But if you click the link in the description, we're going over to KB Loves Movies channel. So come join me over there. I have heard of a movie called Kung Fu. Sir James Brown, $20 super chat, my man. Thank you. That's awesome, dude. That's incredible. Thank you for that. That's way more than I deserve. But let me answer your question quick. Love your channel. Been a collector since the early 90s. Started with Laserdisc, 4K. Oh, man, you've been going since Laserdisc. Now you're on the 4K. You work for Disney Fox. Let me know when you come to LA. Also, I love that you explain the aspect ratios, 35 millimeters, 7 millimeters. Hey, I appreciate that, man. And good for you working for Disney Fox. And you haven't been laid off yet. So thumbs up. They laid a lot of people off. I hope they don't lay you off. You sound like a good guy, cool guy who's been a collector. If you get somebody's ear at Disney Fox, you're at the water cooler, whatever, let them know that we're out here. We want this stuff, man. We want Barbarian. We want Prey. We want The Empty Man. We want this stuff. We want Mandalorian. We want the Marvel shows. We want this stuff. So let them know, James Brown. If that's your real name, that's a great name because he's a great entertainer. And if it's not, then you have a great taste in music. Prey is coming to 4K, guys. It's happening. 100% it's happening. All right, guys, I got to sign off because I got to jump in with KB Loves Movies. All right, so real quick before I go, in the description, we are going to KB Loves Movies channel, doing a conversation with him. I'm jumping over there right now. Starts in 2 minutes. Join me there, okay? Join me there. We'll be on there for an hour. He's going to ask me a ton of questions. We're going to go through some stuff, but join me there. It was great to see you guys. It was great to see you. Sir James Brown, dude, send me a message. Send me a message on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Shoot me an email here. I'd love to talk to you more about what's going on at Disney Fox. Would love to talk to you more about that. But, hey, thank you guys for everyone coming out for a surprise last-minute live stream. We had over 225 people at one point. But join me over KB Loves Movies, okay? KB Loves Movies. And real quick, Oppenheimer's not CGI free. There's just no 100% CGI scenes. You can't make that movie without CGI. He's not blowing up a real bomb. So anyways, there are CGI moments in it from what I understand, just not full on CGI backdrops. Anyways, guys, join me over at KB Loves Movies stream. I'm going over there right now. Link is in the description. I will talk to you all over there. Hope to see you, but thank you all for coming out for this live stream, and I'll talk to you soon.